Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the NeedleBugg. My name is Karen, and today I thought I would show you a little bit of what it's like to stitch on the stand that I got from W Stands, which is called the Frog. I'm hoping the name Frog is going to keep the frogs away. Just a little pun on the name there. Because we already have a frog here. We don't need them coming to visit. So today I thought I would work on my pandemic, which is being stitched on 25 count Victorian red Lugana with DMC B5200. So conveniently, I'm almost at, and I'm not zoomed in on the stitching because really this video is more to show you what it's like to stitch on this stand as opposed to having you view up close and personal what I'm stitching. So I'm almost at the end of a thread here, and I pretty much planned it that way so that you could see what it's like to get to the back of your work if you are a person that goes to the back. For myself, it depends on if I go to the back or not. Many times I will end my thread on the front or from the front. Excuse me. Okay, so I think we're almost at a place where we can end this off. If you're curious on how to stitch over one and not have the thread slip under your fabric threads, I did just do a video very recently. No, it's not so recently, but I did a video a while ago on how to prevent that from happening. It was a big discussion in Facebook groups not too long ago. So you may notice that I am stitching a little bit differently, but like I said, you probably can't see it up close and personal very well. So I think we're going to end this thread here, and let me show you just how easy that is. So I really don't have much left, and I at this point don't want it to get too short because, well, then it's just a bit of a mess. So all I'm going to do is pull this lever front. That loosens this. We can just flip it right around to the back of our work. We can go underneath here and just slide our needle under the threads. I love these ballpoint needles, but this is one thing that they make it a little difficult to do, and that is to end your thread. Okay, but as long as you get under a couple stitches, you're fine. Okay. Then we can cut it off. And then you just bring it back front again. Okay. Put it where you need it to stitch and lock it up. That's all there is to it. All there is to it. Very, very easy to work with. Very easy to get to the back of your work. Unlike some stands where it is a bit more difficult to get to the back of your work. I've had a nerd stand where instead of just being able to do this and flip it over, what you needed to do was this flipped up and it pivoted on the top of your hoop. So to end your threads, your hoop was getting even further away from you. Where here, everything stays nice and compact right where you need it. And it's just a joy to stitch on. Just a joy. So far, I have enjoyed stitching on this very, very much. I'm very, very happy with this stand. I will say though, when you are, let me just start this thread. When you're close to this side, because my dominant hand is underneath, because that hand is smarter. It knows what to do. My non-dominant hand is on top because this hand needs supervision. It sometimes has a mind of its own. So that being said, when I get close to this, sometimes I'm bumping into this, into the knobs when I'm close to here. So I try to leave enough area between the area that I'm working and the clamp so that I have a little bit of extra room. The other thing to keep in mind is on this particular piece, I'm working it left to right. Okay. That is going to mean that areas that are stitched are going underneath the clamp. So you're going to want to put something underneath here to protect them. The other side of that, the other point to make where this is concerned is the closer you get to the right-hand side, the more material you have on this side to deal with. So you want some sort of a plan to, how can I say, to put the least amount of fabric underneath the clamp, but have a plan to deal with any excess. Like, is your excess, are you going to fold it over the top and then lay the excess back this way? Are you going to fold it to the bottom and then roll your excess up underneath here? Okay. So what are you going to do with your excess fabric the closer you get to this side? Now, not everybody works on large projects, and that may not be an issue for a lot of people. However, there's a lot of us, myself for certain, who work on large projects. Fabric manipulation and accommodating the fabric in one way or another to keep it out of your way so you can stitch, but also be able to have it be manageable. So that is something that you want to think about no matter which stand you get. If you get, now I'm the one that I am promoting is, of course, the frog. But even if you get the tabletop one or any of the ones that hold hoops or Q-snaps, you will have to look at a way of how am I going to manage all my excess fabric. If you're on a scroll rod and you're using the frames that accommodate scroll rods, you have no worries. But if you're using a hoop and you're using this style of stand, think about fabric management if you do large projects. Just a word to the wise of something that you should think about. Yeah, I mean, like I said, here I have it. You can see it's folded up to protect. This is my border, and I have it folded up to protect here. But now once I get more over this way, I'm going to have a plan to deal with this extra fabric. Okay. So as you see, and I don't always stitch two-handed, if you notice. Sometimes my not so smart hand will go underneath to just supervise the thread for knots. And my smarter hand, my dominant hand, will go back and forth. But I'm getting off my subject here. My subject was to show you how it works to stitch on this stand. And as you see, you can stitch two-handed. You can stitch one hand going back and forth. You can stitch however your heart desires. Okay, so if you have any questions, you can certainly drop me an email. My email will be in the description box. You can obviously contact W Stands, and they will be, I'm sure, more than happy to answer any of your questions. They certainly have answered a lot of questions for me, and I really appreciate that. Also, it will be in the drop-down box, and I will put it up here on the screen if you decide to purchase one of these wonderful stands. If you use my code, which is NeedleBugg10, you will be given a 10% discount on a stand. So the code is NeedleBugg, which is the channel name, 10. And that is the amount of the discount. It's 10% discount. You just have to enter that code, and there you go. So with that, again, I'm going to flip it one more time for you. It's just a matter of you take this handle, you bring it towards you, you flip your piece up and around to the back. It's right here for you to do what you need to do. You bring it back and just tighten this up again. That's all there is to it. So with that, my dear friends, I hope you have a wonderful day and a wonderful weekend, and check out the stands. Thank you for watching, and I will catch you next time.